Hi guys, I've given the polygon curve tool just a bit of an update. I've been doing a bit of modelling lately, so there's a real nice quick curve feature that's in it, so I'll show you that. So just to run over the basics, so the polygon curve still all works the same. So if you've got like a curve shape and whatever edges that you want to merge to it selected, you can just do the same old thing and then just rotate it around until all your edges line up perfectly. Then obviously from there we can just extrude in, extrude up, or go to whatever shape that we're after. Maybe we're after a cube. So let's stick those edges again. Stick our cube. Yeah. Object mode curve. And that. Okay, and we execute that. And let's just reverse that over. And shift it around till we're happy with it. And one more time. Okay. So let's click those edges, extrude that, and we're pretty much ready to do whatever we want. So you can obviously get to real nice shapes real fast. There's some edge loops in there. Oops, we can't. So nice and fast. Way of doing some really nice complex modelling. Okay, so that's always been there. So I'll move on to the quick curve, which is such a real nice feature. Okay, so quite often when you're modelling, you may want some straight edges in there. So obviously we've got some straight edges here. So I'll just quickly throw a deformer on them. Deform, throw a lattice on there, grab those points, pull them up. Okay, so how often have you modelled something and you get like a straight edge and then all of a sudden you've had to move some points, or you're needing everything all nice and even again, or everything just to follow a straight line? So say if we're going from here to there, we want that nice and straight. Just on the quick curve option, if you take off the follow shape, which is on by default, and click create curve, you see like from the first edge to the last edge, it creates a curve shape, and by default when you take the follow shape off, it just makes a straight line. So if I go up the edges now, you can see how that automatically gets updated, and so again I can just do that to the other side as well. So it's quite handy, really handy little modelling tool. Oops, create curve. Updates, and there we go, perfectly straight again. Oh, and got to face the model as well. So really cool. One of the other things that you can do, like say if you wanted to even these edges out as well, so I can select all those, turn on even spacing, and once again create a curve, update that, and now the spacing in between here is all perfectly even. So if I do that on the other side, it'll probably look a little bit better. Create curve updates. And look at this, you can see the spacing is all perfectly even, so really nice and handy for modelling obviously. One of the other good cool things that you can do with it is, say if you've got like some edges selected, you can create a curve. Oops. Pull up the handle, and just update the edges so you can see how that'll follow the curve, which is really handy. But by default we've got it to, so I'll just undo that. So by default we've got it just to delete the curve afterwards, so you can leave that on, so it doesn't actually delete it. So if I update this now, we've still got our curve there, and the cool thing about that obviously is I can just grab that curve, center my pivot on it, move it over, snap it to there, and if I stick these edges here, from there to there, create a curve, and I'm just going to delete this curve, and select that curve, and go update edges, and you can see how it's giving me the same curve for those edges. So yeah, real nice, handy for modelling. One of the real powerful features of using this sort of curve comes when you're modelling, I guess, obviously shapes that have quite a bit of curvature to them. So in this case here we have a head, and some of this is a bit messy in that. Like say I've got like points like this that are just a little bit out, you know, usually you can just like smooth over it or relax it or whatnot. One of the cool things about using a tool like this is that if I select, say, these edges here, and I'm just going to take up the even spacing, and I'm going to turn on follow shape, and what that'll do, if I go, I'll select 2, if I go create curve, is it'll try to match the curvature of the edges that you've selected. So you can see it's doing a moderate job. Now if I go over to update edges, you can see how, oops, I was going to delete the curve. If we go update edges, you can see how it's taken that curve and it's sort of like smoothed it out for me, which is quite cool. Now perhaps I'm wanting it to have a bit more of this shape in there, so I can actually just up that to a few more CVs. So if we go create curve now, you'll notice we've got a few more points just so we can manipulate the shape a little bit more. But the cool thing about all this is that it's trying to maintain the curvature that you've already got, but it gives you the ability just to smooth it out a bit more. So if I go update edges now, you can see how we're starting to get like quite a nice like curvature going over here. And looking at this ear here, like this ear looks quite messy to me. So say if I select that point there, maybe I select these, maybe that point there, that point there, that point there, that point there, and maybe I'll just go refresh these just for the moment, and let's just create the curve. Okay, so that's giving us a bit of a curve shape there, and I'm just going to move this point over just a bit more. Maybe I want it to, just looking at these, maybe I want it to be a bit more even, and just come around a bit. So we can just do that there, and yeah, that's not too bad. Maybe I'll pull this point in just a touch. And then if I go update edges now, what you can see is that we've got this nice smooth curvature over here, which is, you know, just absolutely brilliant when it comes to modeling organic shapes. And once again, I'm looking at this and saying, yeah, this looks pretty messy to me too. So maybe I'll just grab these points. And let's create another curve. Okay, and let's just move this over a touch. And yeah, that's looking pretty cool. Let's pull it over just a little bit more and grab this point. You've also got these just these handle 1 and handle 2, and that'll just grab the end handles for you. Just I found that the handles are sort of like used the most when I'm actually doing this. And then if you're happy with that, you can obviously just go update edges. You can kind of see how it's starting to give us a bit of curvature. I could obviously even these out just a little bit more, but yeah, absolutely brilliant modelling tool there. So once again, I'm looking at this curve here, I'm saying, yeah, that's not looking the greatest for my jaw shape, you know, for it to be a bit more rounder. So let's just create another curve on there. Okay, and maybe we'll just grab this point here and pull that down a bit. Sort of thing. Okay, yep, that's looking alright. So let's stop the edges. And once you get, again, you can start to see how we're getting like perfect sort of curvature. So once, yeah, it's absolutely perfect for organic modelling. So let's just create another one, update that, and quite often you'll find that you can actually just select a bunch of edges, create a curve, and just go update. And one of the cool things about this is that, say if I select this here, and I go all the way around here, whoops. Go to the left of this guy, and turn off those ones, and okay, so if I create the curve here, what you'll notice is that it's not quite following the shape well enough for me. So you can fix that just by upping the CVs once more, so maybe up to 10, create another curve, you can see how it's matching up quite nicely. And because it's using a Bezier curve and it's trying to match as close as possible, one of the cool things is that when you do update these edges, that you are getting a smoother curve, which is or smoother shape. So yeah, absolutely brilliant when it comes to organic modelling. Anyhow, that's pretty some of the new features. One last new feature that I'll show you is just the wire deformer that's sort of just built it in. To be honest, I haven't used it too much lately, but I do intend to. So I'll just gotta love how that new open subdiv works. So I've got this here, And so I'm wanting to actually that's to a slightly smaller scale. Maybe just these points here. And basically all this one here does is it actually uses a wire deformer, so you get like real-time feedback on what your curve's doing. So I'll see that, I don't know, say maybe it's 3 points, 4 points, and I'll create a curve of that. So because it's using a wire deformer, we're getting real-time feedback, which is quite handy if you want to obviously visualize what's going on. So one of the other sort of cool things about using a wire deformer to obviously with a curve in that is you obviously have all the attributes that a wire deformer has. So you've got like fall off and drop off and all that sort of stuff. So you can obviously affect larger scale areas. Turn off rotation. Increase the amount of scale. Yeah, press the sky's the limit really. Anyhow, that's all for now. Hope you guys enjoy the new features, and yeah, catch you guys later.